vision, mission, and values. Together, the vision, the mission, and the value statements provide the direction for everything that is happening within an organization. They keep everyone focused on where the organization is going and what it's trying to achieve. They define the core values of the organization and how people are expected to behave. If we break this down, the vision guides what our team goals should be, whereas the mission, it guides how we want to achieve the vision. And the values helps to guide or helps to structure our team's ethics as well as our individual ethics. Values is what we believe in, right? So values is as an organization, we believe in this. So as an individual, how do we contribute to that value? By upholding that value. For example, our organization might say equality. Equality is a core value. Then us, as someone working in this organization, we have to reflect and think to ourselves, how does the value of equality work in my particular role? Do we treat all customers the same? The answer should be yes. So building on positive organizational cultures. The culture at our organization sets expectations for how people behave and work together, as well as how they will function as a team. In this way, culture can break down the boundaries between siloed teams, meaning individual teams, individual groups that work by themselves, quite essentially, and bring them into the rest of the organization. Culture can also help guide decision-making. For example, this particular thing we're trying to do might make us a lot of money, but is it the right thing to do? It can also improve overall workflow. So if our organization has a really good culture where we share, where we collaborate, where we help each other to achieve the overall goal, it can also help workflow. For example, you're working in a project with a very tight deadline and you can't achieve it by yourself. If your organization has good workplace culture, then you can always reach out and go, hey, can you please help me with this? Or can you just quickly double check my work to make sure it's correct? And that way your workflow overall improves. A positive company culture affords employees respect while expecting quality work every day. So in order to have a good workplace culture, it's really important to have respect. A positive environment often encourages collaboration. And I think we've all been in situations where sometimes the teams that we're in or the businesses we're in, it's beautiful. Everyone is helping each other and collaborating. And other situations where as soon as you go, hey, they go, whoa, 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 I'm too busy. I can't help you with this right now, right? So a positive environment often encourages collaboration. Someone can see that you are struggling, so they come up to you and they might not even do anything. They might just have a conversation with you, but that conversation can be the difference between you having a great day or your day just continuing to be very average. A positive workplace culture also emphasizes each employee's strengths to make the company more productive and more efficient. Now, this one's a really hard one to do, simply because an organization has tasks which are fairly generic, meaning if you're the salesperson, your tasks are sales orientated, right? It's generic to your role. If you're the IT person, your role is generic to your particular role, the tasks that you do, the day-to-day stuff. In saying that, if you've got really good workplace culture, you go beyond your role. As a manager, as a leader, you go beyond that and you go, you might be working in the IT department or you might be working in the human resource department, but you're really good at this thing right here. It might not be directly related to your role, but you're really good at it. So what you could potentially do as a manager, as a team leader, is reach out to people and find what they're really good at and go, let's play to your strengths. Let's give you a project that you're really good at doing. And all these things, it keeps feeding itself and keeps helping your organization to grow because it keeps building the positive workplace culture. Just like in society, culture being a living thing, meaning it can evolve, it can change, the workplace is no different. Workplace culture can also evolve and change. It can go from being a positive to a negative or a negative to a positive. It just takes time and effort. Take away the time, take away the effort, you can go from a very positive organization to a very negative organization from a cultural perspective very quickly. Add the time, add the effort, and you can reverse the trend. So how do we build a positive cultural environment within our organization? And how do we add to the vision and the mission and values and ensure that everyone understands? Well, first step is by telling positive stories. Think about your favorite experiences in life. And each of your experiences are stories. From a business perspective, every business has an origin story. It goes through difficulties, it overcomes adversities, it starts off as an idea somewhere, and we join the organization at different paths or different levels of this particular path. So tell positive stories. For example, this person joined the organization in an entry-level role. They worked hard and they worked their way up, and now they're in management position. And from management, the next goal is to keep climbing the ladder. Or talk about how an organization is changing the face of the industry by being really innovative. We should also reward and recognize positive performance. From an organizational cultural perspective, recognizing and rewarding are two really big aspects. Rewards don't only have to be financial. Rewards can also be in the place or the space of, let's say, giving someone extra time off or opportunities to do training and development programs, or even to go attend summits and workshops, whether inside or outside the organization. In terms of recognition, this could be during a staff meeting, you say, oh, this person from this department has done something amazing. So once again, you are rewarding, recognizing, but you're also sharing their positive story. Encouraging people has a huge power to develop consistency within the mission. So you encourage people, it invariably ends up helping them to realize that they can do more than what they're currently doing, or what they're currently doing is really good, makes them feel happy. And by making people happy, their work becomes better. Maybe not more consistent, but better. And in that process, it allows us to reach the mission that the organization actually ends up having. And the last one, make decisions consistent with values. As an organization, any organization, we set values for ourselves. If our values are very human-centric, then the decisions we make or the decisions we take, they should also be human-centric. If our values are very, let's say, sustainability orientated, then the decisions we take in our organization should also support it. For example, let's say our organization says we value sustainability. Now, let's say a couple of months down the line, we have the option to replace all the light fixtures in our workplace or change all the printers over in our workplace. This is a great opportunity to say, should we spend a little bit more money on upgrading the light fixtures so that we end up using less electricity? Well, our values say we believe in this. Our actions should also follow. If we're replacing our printer, this would be a great time to do two things. One, update our organization's policy on printing and communicate with our organization about why we're changing the policy. Quite often, people will see an updated printing policy and be like, oh, the business is trying to save money. They want us to print less, which is kind of true. But we could also say that we want to print less because we want to conserve the environment, cut down less trees potentially. So communicate the policy. But also, when purchasing a printer or any other equipment, look for sustainable equipment. Whether you're buying a second-hand printer, whether you're buying a printer which is just more efficient, whatever it might be. All these little bits and pieces, they all tie in together. And if we let one part drop out, then it really casts a shadow over everything else that we're trying to do. Remember, in an organizational perspective, when we're trying to build a positive organizational culture, the mission, the vision, and the value, they play an important role. But the actions we take, every action we take, they support the mission, the vision, and value. And if they don't, and they go against it, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. So something to consider.